Another way that you can get images is, of course, with Google Images. And I'm going to type in something like Stitch and hit enter. And that's pretty straightforward. There's lots of images here, and you can click on the image and get a preview of what that image looks like. And it looks like, because I can see these checkerboard background, that's probably a transparent image. And so that is kind of nice to know. I can get an idea of how big it's going to be. So I know it's 1200. That's pretty big. I'm probably going to have to resize that in some kind of photo editor. That one's a little smaller. I'm clicking on it. It doesn't look like it's transparent, so I would have to make that transparent myself. But there's also some filters in here that you can use to help make your search a little bit more refined. So if I click on Tools here in Google Images, you can choose, for example, color. And if you're looking for a particular color theme, obviously you can use that, but I'm going to use transparent. So ideally everything that's being returned to me is a transparent image rather than a colored background. So I'll verify that if I click on this. That looks like a nice size, 370 by, it looks like that image is transparent. Looks like that's an animated GIF too, so that's kind of cool. GIF, I don't care what camp you're in. I don't want to do the argument on the video. In fact, you can't argue with me, so whatever I say is right, so yay. All right, so anyway, this is where you can filter that sort of thing in. Just to kind of give you some more ideas you can use if you're concerned about copyright. If you're doing something for protection, obviously you need to be concerned about the image and whether or not you have rights to use it. In this class, we're using things for educational purposes, so the copyrights don't necessarily apply to us, so we're okay. But here you can filter between images that are filtered for specific use if you need to do that. You can also filter for clip art, images, line drawings, that kind of a thing. So there's lots of different ways that you can filter these images, but for the moment what I'm going to do is, just for demonstration, I'm going to use the ones I have. If I can get rid of that, apparently I can't. Anyway, this is the one I think I'll use, so I'm going to right click on it and choose Save Image As, just to make sure this is really obvious. I'm going to put it in this folder that I'm working on, Backgrounds and Borders, for this image. When you have the file name down here, it is going to default to the image type. You can't just say, oh, I'd rather this be a GIF file, so I'm going to rename it. That doesn't work. It won't render the file correctly. You have to keep the image type that is created with the image. If you need to change the image type, then you need to open it up in a photo editor program. But you can change the name. If I don't like Stitch 11, sometimes it comes down as downloads. Whatever you need to do, then you can rename it. I think I already have one in here called Stitch, so I'll call it something else. So you can rename it, but again, remember, you can't rename the extension. If it's a PNG file, that's the type of file it needs to be. And so what you can do sometimes, because we want to be case sensitive, if it comes through with a capital, remember, we're being sensitive to casing because of our live server, so you can rename it lowercase. That's okay too. So then we're going to go ahead and save it in our, I'm going to save it in my directory here. I'm going to view it. Let's see, there it is, Stitch Smile. I thought I had one in here, but I don't. So I can type in Stitch Smile. I'm going to save it and look at my document, and ooh, it's quite big, but you can definitely see, because I've got this red background, that is in fact a transparent image. So that's another way to get your images without colored backgrounds, so they look like they fit in with our document a little bit better.